Hey guys, welcome to In the Stew. I'm your host, Dejah, and I got my first audio podcast going with producer KingPitt. Say what's up.
What's up? What's up? How are you guys doing today? Or
Hey,
tonight, or whatever time you guys are
well,
listening to
right,
this?
because it's 7 over there, right?
It's 7 p.m., almost 7:30 now.
Shoot, that's crazy. That's crazy. So let's get this thing rolling. So the way that I found you or how we connected was Dakar because you're his producer, right?
Yes, I'm his producer, and we've been working for about 2 years.
Oh, really? So when he was on the podcast, he kind of explained how you guys met. So,
To keep things short and sweet, I was introduced to Dakar by this girl who I was seeing, and she hit me up one day when I was at work. And she was telling me that he was throwing a beat competition. I don't know how she found his Instagram or social media, because I don't even think she was following him. I don't even think she's still following him to this day, ever since me and him started working together. But he was throwing a beat competition for his one upcoming project, Love Letters, I believe it was called. I think that sounds right. And I sent him a DM like, yo, I'm a music producer here in the 904. You should work with me. I'm really good. And at the time, I was still iffy with my beats because this was when I first started going by the name of KingPitt. So he said, all right, I got you. And he sends me a whole 10-pack folder of loops. And he told me, flip these loops, send them back to me, and we'll go from there. I went through the beats, and I think I wasn't even really messing with any of the beats or the loops that he sent me other than this one. Sent him the one that I worked on. He liked it, but he said it was just too much and it was a little bit too muddy because at the time my mixing game wasn't on point as it is now.
mm-hmm.
So he just told me, just don't even worry about those loops anymore, bro. Just send me whatever you got. So I started going through my hard drive and sent him like a whole bunch of like guitar beats I had, and that's when we started working on Loyalty instead of his Love Letters tape. So he was like, yeah, I don't really even know where the rest is just history, honestly. Like, just sent him those couple of beats for Loyalty. And this was even before we started working on Loyalty. And I think the first song I heard back from him was a song called Medusa. And I wish that we still had that somewhere on my Google Drive account, but we don't. So I got the instrumental, but I don't got what he's got. But I sent him this one song. It's actually out on my label's YouTube. And on my SoundCloud, it's called, what is it called? Dark Matter. But we named this, Up Next. It's called Up Next Freestyle. And that was our first song we did together. It was not a guitar beat or anything. It was just like a trap beat I sent to him. It was one of the, it was a trap beat for Love Letters because it was with one of the loops that he sent me. But we never got to it, and I sent it to him again by accident. He's like, yo, this beat kind of hard. And I'm like, and of course I had to tell him like, yeah, that was the beat I sent to you before, but you weren't really fucking with it, but okay. And he recorded on it, sent it to me, and I kind of leaked it, and he was like, all right, well, if it's out, it's out. So we might drop it on all streaming platforms, who knows? Because it wasn't the greatest recording, because he used to record in the same program I used to make beats in, which is FL Studio.
Right. What's up? Hey, at least he, gave you good criticism instead of just like, nah, like,
And this is around the time when I first started going by KingPitt.
Oh, okay. Why'd you end up choosing that name?
So like when I first started making music, I used to go by DJ on Pittsburgh back in high school.
Okay.
And that's where I started off with. And then I met this one rapper here in the 904. He was kind of messing with what I got going on. In my own little bedroom, I have my own studio. I was able to start having people come in and record just to make some extra cash flow before I even got into like selling weed or anything like that, just to help out my mom.
Right.
And an artist was like, yo, like I'm Maine or Mr. 5.6. You should like, what's your name? Like we introduced each other. He's like, I told him like, yeah, my name is just DJ on Pittsburgh. And he's like, nah, I'm just going to call you Pitt. Just Pitt for short.
Right.
And the king part just came from a girl I was dating. I was her king and she was my queen type shit.
Okay. Okay, I see how you put those two together. That's cool.
Because I got a custom snapback for me and her. And I'm like, you know what? The king kind of seems right. I might just drop the king and make it completely just Pitt. Because a lot of people call me Pitt now. So
right. It just stuck.
No one ever calls me by my real name, which is Alex. People just call me Pitt or KP. And that's how I respond now. So
I mean, it worked out. I see how you
Mm-hmm.
put everything together and it kind of flows. So that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty
And
dope.
DJ Young Pittsburgh was just too long of a name, and
A little
just keep
bit. A little bit.
just a little bit. I'm not from Pittsburgh or anything. I just love the city.
Right.
But Pitt just stuck out more, and I'm like, I can ride with that.
Okay.
And especially if I'm trying to come up with a vocal tag, I don't want it to be like something ridiculously long.
Right. It just got to be
So,
like quick and short, just in there.
right to the point, exactly.
Right. The fact that you come from Jacksonville, Florida. So I know that you were saying that you were from somewhere else. I think it was Georgia.
Yeah, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia.
And then you moved to Florida.
I moved to Florida when I was like a year old and my parents divorced.
Okay. And so you don't have any recollection of Georgia at all.
I still go up there occasionally to see my grandparents because they still live up there in Marietta.
Oh, okay. I feel that. I feel that. So you just recently came out to LA.
Mm-hmm. Back in January.
In January. And how was that? Tell me a little bit about your experience.
It was
Because
amazing.
it was your first time, right?
It was my first time. Like, I've been all over California, but never been to LA. Because with my grandparents, we always traveled like to different states. I think when my mom posted something on Facebook, I saw something like she posted like all the 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
And she marked off how many she's been to, and I went through it, and I think I've been to like almost half.
Oh, wow.
So I've been like all over California, but I remember I was telling my grandparents, like, I really want to go to LA. I really want to. Like, this was even before we started doing music, like how I am now. They're like, no, like it's a tourist place. You don't really want to go.
Mm-hmm. But did you have fun? Like, was it what you expected?
It was a lot different. It's a lot different from the 904.
Yeah.
Because everyone in the 904 wants to stick to them like with their own little group.
Right.
They don't like to expand. They don't like new people in their groups.
When you were out here, what places did you visit?
There's a lot I can't remember, honestly, because it was all a blur. I honestly have stayed out there longer.
How long were you here?
It was originally going to be for like a week, like 11 days or something.
Uh-huh.
But then the car was telling me like how like, yo, Pitt, I might stay out here for a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how sure are you about doing this? Because I'm trying to make this worthwhile for the both of us.
Right.
And
Might as well.
Like, and he, at the time, he didn't know he was going to move out there.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, maybe like another week or two. And I'm just thinking, when's the next time I'm going to come out to LA? And when's the next time my job is going to let me do this? Because I work a full-time job in an Asian restaurant.
Oh, okay. It's not shut down because of the coronavirus?
No, I lost a couple of hours, don't get me wrong, because of the whole situation.
Right.
But before the whole coronavirus, I was actually maybe working like almost 50 hours plus each week.
Oh.
Because I was their only walk cook.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so like me going out there is like the manager at the time was like, "You're lucky I love you, Alex, because you would not be going."
Right.
And when I told her I decided to stay longer, an extra half a week. Because we agree that if I stay out there longer, we're gonna make some moves, we're gonna make some plays,
right,
make it worthwhile. And the day before I left, I stayed out there for an extra few days.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, it was a bad experience because where I'm from, you smoking weed in public is you get a ticket, a fine, or you go downtown or something.
Right.
So I'm not used to like the whole culture. It was a huge culture shock, honestly. If I want to simplify it, was all a culture shock, just because of how different LA is from Jackson. Like Jackson, we sleep like when it's dark out. Not a lot of people are moving.
Right.
LA, it's always moving. You gotta be on that.
So do you think that would be a good thing for you or a bad thing? Like if you were to move out here?
Honestly, when I first came back home, I did not get any sleep because my sleep schedule was on LA time.
Right.
And when I got to LA, it was 9:00 in the morning, your time.
Yeah.
So for me, already it's like almost 4 p.m. or I can't even do simple math right now, but it was like well into almost the afternoon time.
Right. So when you guys ended up figuring out that you were going to stay, you guys were working on your mixtape that's dropping, the LA Files?
that didn't come. We talked about possibly doing a tape when I come out there.
Mm-hmm.
I produced his last 2 tapes,
Right.
Loyalty and Heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about how when I come out there, he wants me to do my own project.
Okay.
Because before me and him even got connected, my Spotify was doing crazy numbers,
Mm-hmm.
almost 3K a month.
Oh, wow. That's really good.
And that's just me uploading beats, no raps, no singing, nothing.
Right. So, yeah, tell me a little bit about your ideas for your mixtape or what's on it. Just give us a little background of what it's going to be.
The ideas was for me to take it, find the artist, find the talent, and get them to rap on my beats. Just simple as that. Me just give them beats or play beats in like a session or just like, yeah, I'm a super producer in a sense. He was always telling people like, yeah, this is my super producer from 904 Jacksonville. He came all his way. Like, fuck with him. He's raw. Like, he was hyping me up the whole trip.
Right.
Not a time he ever put me down. So all these people were like, all right, Pitt, let's see what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just hook up my laptop and start going through all my beats. And at the time, like, and it's still now because I got a whole new setup.
Right.
I used to work off of a MacBook. Now I'm on a whole different operating system, a brand new computer.
That's what's up.
And I'm just like, I don't got really that many beats, but I feel like every beat that I make is always, I want to make the next beat the best as the last.
Right.
And that's just because like all my beats are off of how I'm feeling in this exact moment.
Right. I remember that's what you put in your little bio. So when you say that, what majority of the time, I can't say like, every beat, but majority of the time, is it more upbeat? Is it more like slow?
It all depends. Varies? It just depends on how I'm feeling. Like,
okay, so on your LA Files, you're going to drop a new song. So tell us a little bit about that song.
The song I'm dropping is actually entitled Just Wanna Vibe. And that beat was actually produced before I went out to LA.
Okay.
So when I was working in the studio with Dejah and his cousin, the engineer that was on site also lived with Dejah's cousin.
Okay. So when do you plan on dropping this, the LA Files?
The LA Files Part 1, I'm hoping to drop it maybe by the summer. If I can get all the files that I need, all the songs, because I think one of the songs, the beat that we used was from like 2017.
Oh,
so
okay.
I gotta find the original beat, send it off to the artist so he can have the track stems and just have it be the perfect mix. I don't want to just have a beat already made and use that, because all the beats that we used were all made on the spot. The beat or the song Chicken Fried, that was that was from the first cook up. As soon as we got to the Airbnb, or not Airbnb, to Dejah's cousin's crib, he started cooking up some chicken wings, and I'm just there chilling, just looking around like I'm in a whole new state. I'm in a whole new environment. I'm not in 904. I'm not home. I don't got my dog. I'm just looking around, and I just whipped up my computer, and I just found this one beat, or it's not one beat, this one loop, started messing with it, added some drums, and I said, yo, Dejah, listen to this real quick. And he just started freestyling in the kitchen while cooking some chicken.
Wow, okay.
And I'm just like, okay. And he's like, is there a studio here? Can we hook up? Because he drove down to LA. He didn't fly. So I got my setup. I got my studio gear in the car. We can go hook it up or whatever. I'm like, say less.
Right. Let's get it going.
Like like I said, it was 9 a.m. California time. So we had a whole day. We had a whole pretty much 24 hours ahead of us.
Right. So who else is on it besides Dejah?
Right now, I got Dejah, his cousin Marcellus. I got this one dude, Andreas, who you should actually interview, because he's an upcoming artist. He's from the Dominican Republic, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he's now out in LA. This other dude named Dan Fable, or Abel. He's also a good producer. And then NJ.
Okay, so you got a few people that you got.
And then another person we met like halfway through the trip, his name is Isaiah, and he goes by Isaiah Can't Sing.
That's so contradicting. Can he sing?
I mean, if it has the right auto tune,
Oh.
if the auto tune rings, then yeah, like he's golden. But
So you had told me about uploading music to YouTube. So do you still do that, or are you just mainly just sending your beats to artists?
I do a little bit of both. But as of right now, like I actually taken a break off of the YouTube. I think the last beat I uploaded was some BS beat that I just started, because I don't make my own melodies usually.
Mm-hmm.
I usually have my production team make them for me, or go on like websites that have like royalty-free loops, and I just chop them up and flip them.
So you were talking about your production team.
Yes.
And I was doing a little research. Is that the Worldwide Records?
Worldwide Records, yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
It's founded by me, but the first ever label I started, because this is not the first label I started. A lot of people think, like, when they see like the Instagram page for it or see my account even, they're like, nah, you're a clown, like you said. Like you don't have the views, you don't have the followers, you don't have this, you don't have the clout in a sense for it.
Right.
But I've been doing like music for almost 8 years, yeah.
Oh wow.
Worldwide Records is a production team, but I'm trying to grow from that to be like an artist development community in a sense as well, like where I find the art or the producers that I feel like they're good enough to be heard, good enough to have placements like me. So I reached out to them, and hopefully we can maybe collab on some beats, and I send them off to an artist.
So what was your first record label?
YBR.
What does that stand for?
Young Boys Records.
Okay.
Because we were like, go ahead.
That was with your high school friends, or?
That was just me and my 8th grade class.
Your 8th grade class?
8th grade class.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So y'all were young.
So like we didn't know what we were doing. Like we were hoping that that I'll make the beats and they would just rap on them or something, but that never really took off.
Okay.
Like I still get reminded on Facebook occasionally about like all these old records that I was gonna put out but never put out.
Right.
Because they didn't want to rap on my stuff. Because at the time I wasn't even making hip hop. I was making EDM. So.
Oh, okay.
Just me
that's
adding,
a huge difference.
Well, not even EDM, just me adding loops on top of loops.
Yeah. Okay, so then now your record label now, I know that you were saying that there were different producers from all over the world.
That was my goal, yeah.
Okay.
With the whole YBR scene, when I first started that, my first producer was from Africa.
Oh.
So he kind of got the whole brain going inside, and like, you got someone, you connected with someone through Instagram who's really good at what he's doing. You might, even if you don't make it as a music producer, you should maybe just network, help promote as a manager.
Right.
And got him signed to his first label out in Africa.
That's huge. So is he on this record label now? Like who's associated with it now? Is it just
right
you?
Now?
I could list off 4 or 3 right now, and one of them is Lewis. Lewis is second. He was actually my first ever signee with this whole new wave of music that I wanted to start. Because I had, like I said, a label before, but all those people I've worked with before, I still talk to them occasionally, but they're not really focusing on their music as much as I am, or the people I have now on my team.
Right.
So like Lewis, I remember when I found him, he was just uploading beats onto his Instagram, and I told him, yo, like, shoot me a DM. I'd love to work with you. And at that time, I wasn't really trying to sign him, just want to work with him. So he sent me a couple of loop samples into my email. I still actually have, I think, like a thread of emails all together on my old email of him sending me loops. And I might actually go back into it since I got a whole new computer, a whole new setup, and just maybe do something different with them, since we talked about doing beats together for like a year now, and just put something out with those instead of going through like a royalty-free website.
Right.
And just keep it all into the team, and maybe I can send it to like an artist and have someone jump on it. Because Lewis and I actually have some production credits with the car, but we never put them out.
Yeah, you definitely should. I mean, the more music out, the better.
Another person would be Supreme Mix or Luca, and he's a producer from Germany.
Oh, wow.
And so he was my first on this new label to be signed from out of the States. Because Lewis is from New York.
Okay.
So when I found Supreme Mix, I found him through a royalty-free sample website. And I downloaded this sample, started cooking on it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not really messing with this loop anymore. I want to see what other people have done with it. Because I always try to gather inspiration from other people. And I found him. So I clicked on his link and I had my speakers blasting. And I was like, yo, this kid almost broke my speakers. My whole room was shaking because I don't got acoustic foam in my setup anymore. But I started going through all of his beats, and I'm like, oh, I hope he has like an Instagram or something because I hate messaging people through SoundCloud.
Right.
So luckily he had Instagram. Shot him a DM like, yo, I need you on my team. And he's like, what team? And I'm like, I don't even have a name yet, but just join my team. I could promise you, like you'll get heard here in the States instead of over there overseas. And actually, maybe a couple of months ago, he started rapping.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he goes by Supreme Mix when he makes beats, and he goes by Young Luca, I believe, or Luca when he raps.
That's what's up. So you kind of got like a 2-in-1 deal out of him.
Yeah, he actually dropped his first song on Spotify and Apple Music a couple of days ago. It's called Phone.
Okay, I might have to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
I got him, 2 people from Jacksonville, my hometown.
Okay.
My best friend. He's been there since the beginning, in a sense, since like freshman year when I actually really wanted to start taking this serious.
Okay.
And me and him put out tapes together. But then right after high school ended, because I graduated a year or 2 before he did. So I was already out doing my own thing. But around the same time, we met this one producer, again through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And he was from South Carolina. And he decided to say, like, yo, I like what you and your friend are doing. My parents are already thinking about moving, about going somewhere, but we don't know where. And I said, bro, come to Jacksonville, Florida. Don't even think twice. Just do it. And so he just packed up his things with his parents and they moved down to Jacksonville. And ever since then, me and him been working together. He's the one who, because like I said, I was doing EDM music at the time.
Right.
Kinda. And he was the one he used that GarageBand on his iPad.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell him how I'm feeling or just anything like that. And he was like, I got you. And he would just whip up the keyboard and he would start playing something. I'm like, that's exactly how I'm feeling. Like, you just, how?
He got it.
He got it. And then I started doing the drums.
Right.
But if you put me in front of a drum set, I'm just going to look at you like you're crazy.
Like, what do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people say I might be able to play the drums, and I don't know it because I just program them in.
I mean, you could. Have you ever tried?
I have, yes, at Guitar Center. Actually, before I got all my new gear and just sat down in front of them, like, all right, let's try this and see what happens. And I'm a little rusty, but I know if with practice and everything, I'll get better.
So it wasn't too bad.
No.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. So I got those 2. I also got a kid from California. He's actually from Greenfield, where Dakar is from.
Oh, really? Did you know him before Dakar or after?
No, I found him through Dakar.
Oh, okay.
Because at the time when Dakar and I were working on Loyalty, he was promoting me all through social media, like Snapchat, Instagram, everything.
Uh-huh.
So I'm getting all these ads on Snapchat from people from Greenfield. And a lot of people are telling me they like my music and everything. Like,
that's dope.
So I'm like, all right. And then this kid, he just adds me and sends me a screen record of his phone of him making the beat off his phone.
Oh, wow.
And just right away, I'm like, I want this kid. I want him on my label.
Right.
Just because that's how I found my boy Breezy. He started uploading videos of him recording his iPad off his phone and posting them on Instagram. So like, just people don't limit. I got a producer tip from me to the next. Don't let anything limit you.
Right.
Anything is possible. You can, if you don't got a computer and you got a smartphone, you can download music apps onto your phone. And there's nothing stopping you. Just you.
Right. I 100% agree with that. Because I feel like people feel like they need all the equipment and all.
You don't need any. You just, if you got a phone or a tablet, you're set.
That's cool. That's some great advice. That is some great advice. So what or who motivates you to be a producer?
Like an influencer or like someone like bigger than me or?
Anyone. It could be anyone bigger than you. It could be someone famous. It could be a friend.
Probably my mom.
Is she a big portion of why you do this, or is it just
She's the reason why I wanted to start doing this as a full profession.
okay? And why is that?
Her and my art teacher, Mr. Lynch, R.I.P. Mr. Lynch. Both of them, they always wanted me to do whatever I wanted to do that made me happy. With him, it was with paint, theater, just being creative, because I don't like being, I don't like Roddy Rich. I want to be out. I want to be able to express myself to whoever.
Right.
And with art and music, that's what led me to like where I'm at now. And Mr. Lynch always told me like, you can do anything you can put your mind to. Nothing is stopping you but yourself.
Right.
And with my mom, like her being sick and me still learning how to do like use FL Studio, not really getting it, but every day when I got home from school, that's the first thing I did, look up a YouTube tutorial, call out my homie, yo, teach me how to use this stuff. Like I want to learn.
Right.
Like I was always driven just to learn something new and something that can express how I was feeling. Because I feel like with music has all different kind of moods, vibes, stuff like that.
So I have a question for you. So if you were put in a position to make a beat in 24 hours, what do you do to get creative and in the right mindset?
Smoke a blunt. And while I'm smoking a blunt, listen to some of my favorite records that other producers that I follow look up to, get inspiration from what they're trying to do with their songs, and take that and put it into like my production.
Okay. That sounds awesome. You know, sitting back, smoking, getting that vibe going. Who's one of your favorite producers?
I was actually telling my fiance this right before you called. Because I'm like, I gotta make sure I have a list, and I already know she's going to ask me this. I actually got a whole list.
Well, name top 3.
Top 3?
As of right now, I'd probably have to say Weezy out of here.
Okay, and do you know why?
Honestly, just because of his simple 808 patterns, like his 808s knock. He knows exactly what he's doing. His melodies are solid. Like I think the first song I heard by him was Yes Indeed with Drake and Lil Baby.
Okay. Yeah, I actually like that song. I didn't know that Drake was on it for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could produce with one person, doesn't matter who it is, for the rest of your life, who would it be and why?
For me personally, I would choose my old coworker, Miguel. And he goes by the name of Ben Hunnett. And that's the reason why I would want to work with him for, if, like you said, would because he's still growing as an artist. He's only got 2 songs out, but he's still working. Like he's just like me. As soon as he gets off work, he goes right to the studio. And that's a good thing about being a stay-at-home producer or an artist. You don't gotta worry about going to a studio, paying their fees, and not getting the same vibe you'll get when you're at home.
Right. I think that's huge too. I didn't realize that until I actually went to the studio a bunch of times, and the vibe is just,
it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's really
you feel more comfortable in your own home.
Right. 100% agree.
Especially like for me, if I want to be in a nice cook-up session, like I want to be able to smoke, I want to be able to talk, drink, party in a sense. You can't really do that in like a studio, or you want to have to pay like their cleaning fees, and you don't want to be doing that.
Right. All these excessive fees just to get money out of you.
Mm-hmm. And they don't even want to put out the good quality when you can probably look up on YouTube how to professionally mix and release it on your own.
Right. Do you guys work together still now, or did he kind of fall off? Like, what is he doing as an artist?
Right now, he's still like doing his own little thing with YouTube beats, but I'm trying to tell him like, yo, you need to cut that crap out. Like,
you guys still work together?
We don't have
music.
We don't have a song out at all.
That needs to change.
I told him that, like, I think the second month in, we were brainstorming, like, yo, you need to just cut ripping beats off of YouTube. Like, let me and my team produce you a whole tape.
Right.
And I started telling him about my label and what we do as a label. And he was like, yo, like, I'm about it. Ben Hunnett versus Worldwide Records or something like that, he said. And I'm like,
so funny.
Let's do it. Like, I have the team. I got the beats. I got them all in the Dropbox. Like, I'll go through them with you, and you just pick them out, and I'll play some on mine too.
Right.
And go from there.
You know, I hope that he gets inspired. I mean, I hope that you are able to inspire him to actually go through it. It looks like that you already did it once, so hopefully you could do it again.
At the time I've known him, and we've known each other for almost a year, actually. Or no, over a year. Okay. And he's only put out 2 songs.
Oh, yeah. He needs to
get
going.
He's like me. He's a perfectionist. He works on a song, saves it, and he starts something new.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but
There's
he
nothing
should
wrong with that,
definitely put them
no.
out,
But
even
I
if it's
know,
just SoundCloud
yeah.
or
And I told him how to upload all your stuff to streaming platforms.
yeah,
Like I want to be able to help the next.
yeah,
Like I found out how to upload my beats to Spotify and Apple Music all for free. I could make a video on it and post on my YouTube, maybe get like 20, 30 views, but it feels a whole lot more when I tell a person in person.
right. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully working in a studio, like either in my own studio in like an apartment or a house that I'll be renting out,
Hmm.
or but to start off with like the first 2 years, maybe work in an actual studio, see how they work, and then take what they got and start and open my own studio. Take my business from that studio and merge it to my own. Not exactly take money away from the studio that helped me out from
Right.
but I got my own studio, got my own spot, got lower prices. You got yourself an in-house producer, myself and my team.
Right. Okay. So since you've been to LA now, would you rather live in Florida or LA? And why?
It's a tie between the two just because as much as I want to live out in LA, it's expensive,
Right. Yeah.
super expensive compared to here in Jacksonville. But then again, I've been in Jacksonville my whole life. I think before I flew out to LA, I was FaceTiming the car and I was telling like, yo, I'm ready for this trip. I'm tired of seeing all of this every single day. And I put my screen around and he saw like, because where I live now, I've lived in the same spot for almost 15 plus years.
Oh, wow.
So like, and there's no studios nearby. There's just businesses that are nothing related to music. You gotta go to like the west side of Jacksonville, downtown, or even on the south side to get like that creative like mind space in a sense.
How do you want to be known? Like, do you want to be worldwide or locally?
Worldwide known because locally that ties in between being known worldwide as well. Like people know where you're from.
Right.
When people find out where you're from, that you made it, they're like, "Damn, I know that guy." Like there's this one old friend of mine. He didn't know about me going to LA. And if I were to have told him if we were still friends, he would have told me not to go. He was there to support me locally, but he didn't want me to blow up and leave him in a sense. But I know if I were to blow up overnight or something like that, I'll bring all the people that rocked with me ever since the beginning till now. And if you really believe in what I got going on, then I'll bring you along for the ride.
Right. How do you plan on getting worldwide?
Just dropping lots of music and just praying for the best.
So from here on out, because you said that you're going to drop music. So how often do you want or do you plan on dropping music?
Hoping at least 2 songs a month.
Okay.
Starting this month because I'm an Aries and so
Uh-huh.
is my fiance. Like we're both Aries, and she's always sending me this one Instagram page. She sends me a post every day, and it's like the date, the month, and the year, and it has something underneath it, and it tells you like it's something really motivational. Aries are really going to blow up this year, and I'm just taking what she's telling me into like my music, into whatever I put out now.
Right. So that good, positive, uplifting energy.
That positive, uplifting energy, and just me working with my old coworker, and he's wanting to take his music serious now.
Basically, it's who produced this. So I'm going to give you the artist name and the song, and you're going to tell me who produced that. And
Okay.
it's between Murder Beats, Nick Mira, Metro Boomin, and Wheezy.
Wheezy out of here. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So first song, "Nice for What" by Drake.
As for what? Murder Beats.
Okay. Okay, I see you.
Murder Beats
Okay.
is someone. I know someone helped him out with that sample chop, though.
Did they? So it's not really him, or is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's Murder Beats. Don't get me wrong, but I got a feeling he's probably had someone help him out with the vocal chop because he's sampling an old record on that song.
I
With
see.
the,
I see.
with the drums, you can easily tell it's Murder Beats.
Right. Bounce Back by Big Sean.
That's Metro Boomin.
Okay, I see you. I see you. Ransom, Lil Tecca.
That's Nick Mira and
Okay.
Taz Taylor.
Okay. Doing way better.
Even though Taz Taylor is not really like he is a music producer, but he's like if I could base my life around anyone out in the industry, it would be Taz Taylor because I've seen him grow as where he's at now. because I've been following him since like 2017, I believe.
Oh wow! So you've been there from jump.
I've been there from the jump, from the whole internet money. That like people say like when I want to do music, I want to be just like him, and I do in a sense, but I don't, because I don't want all that stressful bullshit that he has to go through. But then
Right.
I'd rather pay someone to do that for me.
Right.
And I just focus on the music. I just focus on growing with an artist. I just grow with that producer. I'll worry about the whole business crap with someone else. Like I'll pay someone else to do that for me.
Right. Definitely. So Going Bad, Meek Mill and Drake.
Going bad. Okay, Harlan, I don't think I've even heard that song yet.
Still going bad on you anyway. Yes, you have. That was like a hit.
I listen to a lot of old Meek Mill, so
Yeah.
I'm just going through it, I guess. I'm hoping maybe Wheezy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
is. It is. Okay, and last one, Congratulations by Post Malone.
Easy, Metro Boomin.
There you go. Damn, you got all these right. Look at you. And he even tried to call out murder. Throwing that shade. I see you.
There's no hate for murder. I got his brand new Splice kit. And I used my Splice credits to get that. I could have gone on Reddit and downloaded it for free.
Damn, but you paid. I see you.
I paid for it. And as soon as I downloaded it, I checked Reddit just to see if it was already out on Reddit, because Reddit is the goat for drum kits. I have maybe a terabyte of drum kits from Reddit. Don't hate me, producers, please. But I'll pay for the kits when I make it.
Right.
And half the time they're just recycled drums. But when I bought his kit and I checked Splice and I saw that it was a top listing, Murder Beats Coronavirus drum kit, and I'm like, how is it already out on Reddit and it just dropped maybe like 2 hours ago?
Wow.
Well, I gave you my love,
No
Murder.
time.
I gave you my money. I gave you my money. There's no hate there.
Okay. Well, that wraps up our interview.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me today. I had such a blast. And tune in for next week's episode on Tuesday, guys. Thank you.